She lost a tennis match. Filipino fans flooded social media with fire emojis. Alex Eala just pocketed over 700,000 Philippine pesos for losing a tennis match. And Filipino fans did not boo. They did not complain. They flooded social media with flags and fire emojis and messages saying she made them proud. That right there tells you everything you need to know about where this player is in her career right now. She is at the level where even a first-round exit feels like a celebration. Let me explain why that is actually extraordinary. This was Eala's 12th match in just 22 days. 12 matches. 22 days. On grass courts in Europe, hopping from tournament to tournament, grinding through a swing that has redefined her career while the entire Philippines stayed up past midnight to watch every point. Before we talk about anything else, if you are one of the fans who set an alarm or simply never went to sleep, drop it in the comments. That support is part of this story too. The full financial picture: Eala pulled in 11,390 euros, roughly 700,000 Cuban pesos, for her first-round appearance at the WTA 500 Bad Homburg Open in Germany. That sounds like just a number until you zoom out and see what this entire grass court swing has looked like financially. Bad Homburg did not happen in isolation. This came right after Berlin, where she went into the draw as a wild card and made the semi-final. She brought home 57,395 euros from Berlin alone, close to 4 million pesos, plus 195 WTA ranking points. Put the two tournaments together and Eala made roughly 5 million pesos across 2 weeks of tennis in Germany. 5 million pesos. In 2 weeks. From a sport where just a couple of years ago she was grinding ITF events and hoping someone noticed. The fans noticed everything. Every match. When she beat Rybakina in Berlin, the comment sections went feral. Actor and athlete Eric Eruptiontai wrote, "What a solid run, AE, proud and proud." That is the kind of crossover support that only happens when someone is no longer just a tennis player. They become a cultural moment. Other fans told her to keep being brave, to keep inspiring people, and that the top spot is only a matter of time. They are already calling the world #1 ranking. The belief is real. The rankings math nobody is talking about here is the part of this story that deserves more attention. Eala picked up only a single WTA ranking point for her Bad Homburg first-round exit, which dropped her from 30th to 31st in the live rankings. And the reason for that drop is not even the loss to Mertens. She dropped because she was defending points from last year's Eastbourne runner-up result. The WTA ranking system is essentially penalizing her for how good she was in 2025. That is brutal math. She goes out and produces one of the best grass court seasons any Filipino player has ever had: Birmingham title, Berlin semi-final, 2 top 10 wins in consecutive days, and the ranking system responds with, "Nice, now prove it again." No grace period. No acknowledgement. Just the cold arithmetic of defending points. The loss to Mertens, in context: Eala actually burst out of the gates in the Bad Homburg singles match in vintage fashion, breaking early and racing to a 3-1 lead. The start hinted at another inspired performance and briefly rekindled everything the previous week in Berlin had shown about her grass court game. Then everything unraveled. Mertens won the next 5 games to take the first set, then claimed the first 3 of the second before Eala managed to string a couple back. She saved 3 match points in the 8th game, fighting even when the match was basically gone. That is not someone who quit. That is someone who ran out of fuel. And you have to understand why she ran out of fuel. Former players and analysts had already warned that managing energy levels before a Grand Slam is crucial, with one tennis figure even suggesting Eala should consider taking a break following her emotionally and physically draining Berlin campaign, arguing that recovery could prove just as important as match play in the final week before Wimbledon. Alex chose to compete anyway. Respect. She went out there on tired legs, started better than anyone expected, and fought for every game until the end. That is her mentality. She does not coast. She does not take soft weeks off. She plays. But the Bad Homburg trip is not over, because while the singles was done by Tuesday morning, what came next was something completely different. Venus Williams. Alex Eala. Doubles partners. Take a moment with that. Venus Williams is 46 years old. She has won 22 doubles titles. She has been ranked #1 in both singles and doubles by the WTA. She has accumulated 49 WTA Tour singles titles, including 7 majors and an Olympic gold medal at the 2000 Sydney Olympics. This woman did not just play tennis. She changed what women's sport looks like on this planet. And she walked onto a grass court in Germany with a 21-year-old from the Philippines who 6 days earlier had been beating top 10 players back-to-back. Eala could not hide how much it meant. She called Venus a trailblazer, said that women's tennis has been a trailblazer for women's sport broadly, and that Venus is a huge part of why. That is not a PR quote. That is someone who grew up watching this woman dominate Wimbledon, who probably had highlights saved on her phone, who now suddenly found herself scheduled to share the same side of a doubles court. That is surreal. That is the kind of thing that only happens when you get good enough, fast enough, that the legends start calling you up. What this partnership was worth beyond the score, the doubles draw was not exactly a free ride. Eala and Williams faced a serious test in the quarterfinals, second seeds Teresa Mihalikova and Olivia Nichols, the same pair that had just won the Queen's Club Championships title together. But even in the loss, the partnership was worth something that no prize money figure can fully capture. Whatever Venus communicated between points, how to read a serve on grass, how to poach at the net, how to stay composed when a match gets tight, Eala carries that into Wimbledon. You cannot buy that kind of mentorship. You cannot Google your way into the accumulated wisdom of someone who has won 14 Grand Slam doubles titles. For Eala, this doubles run was essentially a free education before the biggest tournament of her life. The actual headline of this week: it is easy to get lost in the singles loss and miss what this week actually represented. So let us zoom out one final time. Eala came off a semi-final loss to eventual champion Linda Noskova in Berlin, after stunning wins over Donna Veik, Elena Rybakina, and Alina Svitolina. She carries a 9-2 grass court record in 2026. She won the WTA 125 in Birmingham. She made the Berlin semi-final. She earned close to 5 million pesos across 2 weeks of tennis. She is going into Wimbledon seeded, the first Filipino in Grand Slam history to hold that distinction. And her final week of preparation before the biggest grass court tournament in the world involved playing doubles alongside Venus Williams. The fans back home have not slept properly in weeks. And they are still showing up. After the Berlin semi-final exit, messages poured in across every platform. You made us proud, Alex. We are here rooting for you. These are not fair-weather fans waiting for a trophy. They are in it for every match, every flight across time zones, every alarm set at 2 a.m. to watch her serve on an outer court in Germany. Eala knows it. She has talked about feeling that support. She knows the Philippine flags in the crowd are not decoration. They are fuel. Wimbledon starts June 29th. She is seeded, the first Filipino ever seeded at a Grand Slam. She is going in with momentum, prize money stacking up, fan support louder than it has ever been, and fresh experience playing alongside one of the greatest to ever hold a racket. The grass court swing is almost done. The biggest 2 weeks of her career are just beginning.